So we come to the stanza number 17th of the first chapter of the Bodhicharyavatara, the excellence of Bodhicitta. And it says, from Bodhicitta as intention, great results arise for those still turning on the wheel of life. Yet merit does not rise from it in ceaseless streams, as is the case with active bodhicitta. This is trying to differentiate the power or the benefit of intention bodhicitta and action bodhicitta. And it says that intention bodhicitta is very good, is very powerful, is something that most people cannot even dream about. And it is extremely important because first we have to be able to dream about something. That there is a, I wish to have like this. The dream is very important to have a kind of a wish that this should be like this. It has to be like this. Everybody should be freed from suffering because nobody wants it. Everybody should have the lasting peace and happiness because everybody likes to have that. Whether they can exactly express that way, articulate what they want or not. But just to have that dream is not same as actually doing something for it or making a commitment to work towards that. So therefore, it says that if you have the intention bodhicitta, and just that, even that is very, very good. It brings lots of positive things. It brings lots of positive actions also, within that. And therefore, it brings lots of good results now in the samsara. It is sometimes said, from purely Buddhist point of view, that if you have the bodhicitta, if you have loving kindness, if you have just loving kindness, then or good heart, what we call good heart, even if you have just a good heart or a kind of loving and kind nature, that will bring lots of positive things in life and life after. It is usually said that if you really have a good heart and kind heart, you can never be reborn into a negative realm or a lower realm or a kind of bad, kind of very kind of, what can you say, where there is lots of problem and pain and suffering. So therefore, even in samsara, with that intention, with loving kindness and compassion and good heart, you can never become in a very bad way. It's very, very important. But that's not same as having the action bodhicitta, because when you have this action bodhicitta, that you start to make not only a dream, not have a dream, not just have a good heart, not just have a kind of a kindness, but you really make a commitment to work for the liberation of all the sentient beings, or the sentient beings at least, some sentient beings, that you actually practice, or you really make a decision to practice on the 6 paramitas, for instance, and actually take the step, in action, and then it's much stronger, much more positive effect. Because if you do that, then it is said there is a continuous positive karma, and big, limitless positive karma accumulated continuously without ceasing all the time. Even if there is, you're not necessarily doing anything. So this is expressed in the next stanza, stanza number 18. And here it says, "For when, with irreversible intent, the mind embraces bodhicitta, willing to set free the endless multitude of beings, in that instant, from that moment on," and then stanza number 19, "a great and unremitting stream, a strength of wholesome merit, even during sleep and inattention, rises equal to the vastness of the sky." So this is, when you have irreversible intent, that you cannot change. You don't, whatever may happen, I will not stop doing this. This is irreversible intent. And intent to what? Willing to set free the endless multitude of beings. Generally, when you do something to help yourself alone, and that's also not a bad thing. It's much better than harming yourself. And you are regarded as a kind of a, what can you say, a gentleman. Okay, you are a kind of a person who is kind of knows what is good for you and what's not good for you. And then if one person does not only just work for oneself, but really does something for his or her community, like the village, then he is considered a better person, good person, more good person than just doing something for himself or herself. But this person is not only working for the benefit of his community or his, the village, but if he works for the benefit of his whole country, and really commits to do that, then he is regarded as a, really great person, really good person. Everybody appreciates that, and it is really, a very, good person, very great person. But if that person intends to and really does work for the benefit of the whole, world, whole human community, then it's a really great person. Everybody agrees to that. Everybody would agree to that. But if that person wants to work for the well-being of all the beings, all the sentient beings throughout the space, then what kind of a person would you kind of hold him to be? Limitlessly good, extremely positive, something that you cannot, almost imagine, really great. So this way, the bodhicitta is like that, somebody who really commits himself or herself to work for the benefit of all the beings throughout the space, not differentiating between your, your own community and other community, not differentiating with, your country or other countries, or your kind of people or other kinds of people, your friends or your enemies, or in between, all the beings. So if that kind of intention is there, then it says from that moment, from that moment on, and then a kind of ceaseless stream of positive deeds, positive energy, or positive kind of wholesome merit, generates, and that positive kind of merit or wholesome merit or wholesome, what can you say? You can say karma if you want. That keeps on happening, keeps on accumulating, keeps on increasing, even when that person is actually not doing anything. Like that person is unattentive, not particularly focused on doing something, but just just resting, or like sleeping. When you're sleeping, you're not necessarily doing anything, but if your main motivation, main drive, main commitment is the bodhicitta in action, then it's continuously happening positive things, much more than if you just have an intention. So therefore, this is to kind of give a certain distinction, certain difference between the bodhicitta in intention and bodhicitta in action. That action is much more stronger. Bodhicitta in action is much more kind of because that's the next step. The intention, bodhicitta intention is the first step towards this action bodhicitta. You cannot have action bodhicitta without the intention bodhicitta, because first you need to have a dream, what you want, what should happen, and then you really want to get that happen. And then once you have that dream, then you'd get the courage, you would generate the the commitment and the really the all the kind of needed strength to actually take the first steps, actions towards that, like working on the 6 paramitas, for instance, working on the just being, it's not just giving. Like 6 paramitas is like starting with giving and living a kind of moral or ethical or good conduct way of life, being patient, etc. But if you just give or just then it's not so special. But if you do those things in order to bring all the sentient beings to be free from suffering and bring the kind of lasting and highest possible happiness. And now some people ask the question that if somebody doesn't know there's enlightenment, or doesn't know whether there is a kind of a lasting happiness or not, then should we wish them so or not? I think this is not. It's not about what what they wish or not. If you don't, most people don't know what to wish for. So therefore, everybody actually wants to be free from suffering. But it is not easy to express that or articulate that. If you just ask somebody, what do you want? They might say, something very simple. Maybe I want a job, or, I want to have a car, or I want to have a house, or I want to have a, life partner, or something like that. And then if you go a little deeper, why you want that? Because I want to be happier. Because they feel that if they get that, then they will be happy or happier. So therefore, it's not, there's lots of confusion in the people. It's very difficult sometimes to be able to, understand or articulate what you really wish. So therefore, it's also important to train in this. Think, what really is it that I wish? What really is it that everybody wishes? And that to make it very, is it just, jobs? Is it just, husbands or wives? Is it just, cars and houses or money? And, or something that they think these things will bring them. So therefore, when we understand this, when we have a deeper understanding, then actually everybody will come to the same conclusion. Sometimes people ask, suffering is very good because then through suffering you will learn. And I say, you will learn what? You will learn about things, about life, so that you can, you know how to deal with problems, and you learn how to, how to be wiser, and how to be actually free from suffering. And then I say, then why don't we just be free from suffering? Why do we have to go through the suffering in order to learn how to be free from suffering? Actually, you want to learn because you want to be free from suffering. But sometimes people have, not that kind of a direct understanding or idea or something like that. There's lots of sometimes they say, I like to have challenges. Why have challenges? Because I want to overcome them. Why do you overcome challenge? Because then I feel very good. So actually you want to feel very good. But in order to do that, you need to have a challenge first, then you have to overcome it anyway, It is not so simple to be free from suffering. You will naturally have lots of challenges and lots of things to understand, to work on, but sometimes people go through like zigzag way, or round. It is also so these understandings. This is the understanding. So maybe I'll stop here and wish you all a very happy New Year, and hope that this New Year in 2011 will bring a very healthy, happy, peaceful, successful, purposeful, life for all of you, and to all your loved ones too. And then, hope to see all of you soon. Thank you very much.